Well, I am back to talk about the album that divided the entire internet, but still had the entirety of it sat for the release, whether it was to talk shit about it or not. Hello, my name is Freyr. I am your favorite local forest gremlin, a Polish sociology student, and a pop culture enthusiast. And today I have the honor and the privilege of going over The Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift, which is her brand new album that has been the topic of many discussions for the past few days since it's been out. This album seems to have been insanely misunderstood by the internet. The amount of controversy around it for practically no reason has been kind of insane to watch as a Swiftie personally. Like, this release week has been an interesting experience to say the least.
Yeah.
That's why I felt a little like obligated to make a video discussing this album if there are going to be people willing to watch it, and kind of explain why I think that this is a good album, and maybe hopefully make some other people look at it from a slightly different perspective. So yeah, I am here to explain The Life of a Showgirl if you still don't get it. And hopefully, you know, the people watching this will come into this video with an open mind, because that's what I need to convince you. If you're going to come in here with your own preconceived notions of who Taylor Swift is or what her craft is, I doubt that this is gonna be a productive spending of your time or my time for that matter. Also, please don't mind the lighting situation. It's like very dark and I have basically a storm outside of my window. So like recording this video is gonna be a little tough. I'm gonna try to work something out, but hopefully it's watchable. Quickly, before we get into talking about this album though, I would like to say that I have the full reaction of The Life of a Showgirl app on my YouTube page. You can also subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. I am this close to 2,000 subscribers. I would love to hit that milestone at the end of October. So please subscribe if you haven't already. You can like the video, you can share it around, you can comment down below. You can also follow me on all of my other socials, which are listed in the description box below. Those include Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and many more. So today we're going to talk about the music, we're going to talk about the lyrics, we're going to talk about the visuals, the outfits, the concepts, everything that forms the amazing project that is The Life of a Showgirl. But with that, let's get into the album. I think that The Life of a Showgirl was a very much needed palette cleanser when it comes to Taylor Swift's discography. I think that the past few eras have sort of created this image around her of like a tortured poet, I guess pun intended, but she's not only a great writer when it comes to like sad, depressing, melancholic music, you know, she is also a phenomenal writer when it comes to making good pop bangers. It's almost like people forgot about the albums like 1989 or Reputation. The Life of a Showgirl being mostly pop bangers with really fun lyrics was the right move here. I think it reminds people of how versatile of an artist Taylor Swift can be. This album, frankly, I find incredible. I think the production is insane. Max Martin and Shellback really did a good job here, and also Taylor Swift did as well, because she is credited as a producer on this album. I think it's both a return to form when it comes to like 1989 Taylor, but it also built on that. Like, you can see elements of that era here, but it just feels like there's much more depth to it. It feels more grounded, it feels more realistic without losing the pop banger formula, which I really enjoy seeing. I really love how many happy songs we got on this project, but also I don't think that there is a just happy song on this album. Every single one of them has more to say than just, oh, I'm in love, or oh, I'm happy. They are all so complex, so detailed, so specific. And also she sings about topics that I just fully didn't expect to be mentioned anywhere in the album. Like, actually romantic specifically just gagged me, but also Ruin the Friendship. Actually, I think Ruin the Friendship was a bigger gag, because I just never would have expected anything remotely like this from an album like The Life of a Showgirl and from a song called Ruin the Friendship. I probably would have guessed that this would be like something like a Gorgeous or, you know, something like that. But that was unexpected. The writing on this project has also divided a lot of people who are calling it cringe or unfunny, and it just kind of confuses me a lot, because why is Taylor not allowed to make jokes in her music?
No one's fun anymore. Whatever happened to fun?
Like, why her specifically? We are like not letting her use humor in music. Why is that a problem? Lana Del Rey said her pussy tastes like Pepsi Cola, and Lady Gaga recently sung about making the curtain scream and looking at someone like a zombie killer right before a homicide. But then when Taylor Swift decides to sing about opening her thighs, it's over. We don't like jokes, actually. Not anymore. This is unfunny. This is cringe. She should stop. She should retire. Like, you see my point? I never heard the same critiques put towards, honestly, most of other artists. I feel like sometimes Sabrina gets that because she uses humor a lot in her music, and many people are tired of that, which, again, I don't get. I love when songs are humorous. I think it's always so much fun to see that. So yeah, my advice would be take out that stick that you have shoved up your ass and loosen up a bit, you know, have fun. To be cringe is to be free. And sometimes a little cringe won't kill us. I feel like the internet has convinced us that cringe is like the worst crime ever. But no, it is not. Like, just have fun. Not everything has to be serious. I'd actually argue that the more that things are fun, the easier it is to deal with all of the bullshit of the outside world. Like, one thing that this specific release week really reinstated in my head is that so many people are just miserable and unable to have fun in any way, shape, or form. The inability to enjoy fun pop music is honestly quite sad, coming from someone who does enjoy it. I feel like you guys are just missing out. Again, not everybody has to love it, but just like the complete dismissing of it is very crazy to me, and I don't think it's deserved. But truly, I mean, what's new? Taylor could have fully just dropped another Folklore and people would be like, oh my god, she's being too pretentious, and they would find other songs to latch on and to cancel her over. Like, I could imagine the same think pieces that we are currently seeing about songs like Wishlist, about, I don't know, This Is Me Trying, for example, and being like, oh my god, she's making fun of people who are alcoholics or whatever, and just like, let us live in peace. If you don't like her, don't listen. But on the topic of misinterpreting lyrics, we're gonna get to that a little bit later when we get to a specific couple of songs, because I have some things to say. And yeah, so just put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to that later. And now I think it's the correct time to get into every single one of the songs individually in the order that they are on the track list and discuss everything that they bring to the table. So let's start with our lead single for the era, which is of course The Fate of Ophelia. This might be the most addictive chorus to ever exist. Many people like to shit on Taylor for her lead single choices, which, okay, sometimes I agree, but since Folklore, I don't think she's missed once, and this is just proof of that. I love the concept of her being saved from the fate of Ophelia, which, again, I don't think many people did, because many said that apparently it's too shallow, but look at the greater concept of the album too. Like, it's not just about the one song. It's very clear that this song is important to the project in more ways than once. This is the lead single. This has a music video. This is very clearly referenced on the cover of the album. It's very clear that the metaphor of Ophelia is very important for this project. We know that love and understanding can help in any situation, and being seen by people who actually care about you is what Ophelia ultimately lacked. So yeah, on one hand, she is being saved by the love of Travis Kelce, but I also don't think that is just that. I would also say I still think that the Eras Tour is somewhat relevant in Taylor Swift being saved from the fate of Ophelia. She found her community, and that is her fans. They are the people who get her, and we know that Eras Tour definitely helped her when dealing with a lot of like personal life turmoil. So yeah, I don't think that this metaphor here is shallow at all. And what I also don't get is people trying to gatekeep Ophelia. Like, you do realize that this is Hamlet, and we've all pretty much read it. Well, for the most part, but still. I got to see the live premiere of the music video in the movie theaters because I did go with my friend to the release party of A Showgirl. And I gotta say that this might be one of my favorite music videos from hers ever. The building of sets itself, every single set was so meticulously crafted. Every single one of them was a separate story. I could just make a whole video solely about that music video, dissecting every single frame because there's so much in there. And she also hinted at possible Easter eggs in there. So actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Or maybe we should just rank Taylor Swift music videos. I think that'd be fun as well. Either way, I would say my favorite look from the music video would be the red head at the pirate ship section. She looks like evil Chapel Roan. And I live. The whole song showcases how she's being saved from the so-called fate of Ophelia. And we see that through a plethora of lines, including, for example, these. And if you never come for me, I might have lingered in purgatory. You wrap around me like a chain, a crown, a vine, pulling me into the fire. I also really like the drowning and the purgatory, which we see throughout the song because it very clearly relates to Midnight's and to Tortured Poets. Like, she was in a state of delusion and despair, and she's finally being saved by someone who is being real with her. This is also someone that is very, very clearly just not gonna leave her. He is a chain, a crown, a vine. 'Tis locked inside my memory, and only you possess the key. So apparently this is a near direct quote from Hamlet, and in original, it's "this in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it." It points to the importance of memory in an intimate way. It's something that binds people together, and personally, I find that very cute here. I will say too, this whole album is perfect for edits. And every single one of these songs spawned a plethora of edits in many different fandoms that I am a part of, specifically the Fate of Ophelia. These, I would say, are probably the most popular amongst all of the tracks. Like, the Fate of Ophelia edits, they are kind of everywhere. My favorite one was one of the Shrek ones. Actually, there were a couple. One of them was about the dragon that Donkey falls in love with, and the other one was about Fiona because, like, she's literally in a tower, and you know, Taylor in this song is being saved from a tower. But both of these are just because technically the dragon was also saved from the tower by the donkey because she was there to like guard Fiona, but also she was like on a chain. So it all makes sense in my head. Honestly, great lead single and a great song as well. I really, really enjoyed listening to it for the first time. It was so much fun, and I still bob to it. I also really, really love the little TikTok dance that she does. Many people clown on her for that, but again, what's new? People just hate her. I personally find the dance very fun.
I cry my eyes violet, Elizabeth Taylor.
Gotta say, first things first, this chorus hits like a truck.
But deliver. Cry my eyes violet.
Elizabeth Taylor is an incredible track to follow. Like, I don't think she's ever missed on a track too, just in general, but this one specifically.
And clap.
Everything. So one interesting thing that I found out whilst I was preparing myself for this video was that in this song, we have a mention of both Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, who are both referenced in Ready For It, which I didn't realize when I first listened to the album, which I fully didn't realize when I was listening to the album for the first time. Like, there is this famous line in Ready For It, and you can be my jailer, Burton to this Taylor. Like, of course it was right there, and my stupid idiot brain didn't realize until afterwards.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
But funnily enough, what I found out was that apparently Richard Burton was in a performance of Hamlet, which is of course referenced in the opening track, which I find a very, very fun connection. I love this song. I think it's really, really good. I think the production hits when it's supposed to hit. It does so many of these like dramatic moments when it needs to. I also really like that this is a little bit more darker in the like the mood department of the song. I don't really know how to phrase that. It does also have a tad of that like glamorous feeling to it. Like it does feel like it's about the life of somebody in the like the higher society, I guess, which fits for a song that's named Elizabeth Taylor. Oftentimes it doesn't feel so glamorous to be me. All the right guys promised they'd stay. Under bright lights, they withered away. But you bloom. So I don't think it feels glamorous to be her because her personal life doesn't match the like glamour of her showgirl persona. I think the bright lights might also be a direct reference to her fame, but her current partner isn't scared of her fame, isn't scared of her showgirl persona, and embraces all parts of her, not just the private Taylor Swift, but also the megastar, the pop star of our century, Taylor Swift. I'd cry my eyes violet, Elizabeth Taylor. Tell me for real, do you think it's forever? Been number one, but I never had to. So Elizabeth Taylor was known for her many relationships, which is something that Taylor for sure can relate to. And a lot of them ended, of course. And because she's almost like a role model for Taylor, which also Taylor mentioned in the Jimmy Fallon interview, by the way. She's always been number one, but she's never had two, meaning that she's never had somebody that she could fully share her success with and not have them be intimidated by it or scared by it. Be my NY when Hollywood hates me. I love this line for so many reasons. So first of all, apparently Elizabeth Taylor circulated between these two places a lot in her career, but also, these places are on two literally like different ends of the United States of America. It's like an escape to a completely different world, an opposite world, if you will. It's an escape that is needed when one of the worlds gets angry at you. They say I'm bad news. I just say thanks. She's turning bad news into compliments. It's basically the same rule of any attention is good attention, any press is good press, which I also really like as a line because we get an entire song about this basically, which is called Actually Romantic, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later. I love the way that this song perfectly showcases how it's like to date, try to find the one, but also still be in the spotlight, be on everyone's mind. Her dating history gets brought up all the time. It basically defines her, even if it's like a thing of the past, and it's hard to find someone to accompany her in this, well, frankly, crazy world that she lives in. She's asking people who did this before her for advice, both when it comes to romantic endeavors, but also handling all of the fame and all of the scrutiny and basically the roller coaster of it. It also showcases a lot of those expectations that are put on set showgirls, set pop stars, or just in general artists in the spotlight. And they're always having to be fresh, always having to be hot. You're only as hot as your last hit, baby. Literally, I think that line sums up the entire song so perfectly to me. Low-key, I kind of need to see a music video for this one. Like Taylor said that she is willing to make more music videos for this era. I would like to nominate Elizabeth Taylor because I kind of need this to happen. I would love to see a visual for this. This... I think this is my favorite Christmas song of all time. This song sort of compares Taylor's past romantic experiences and the usual distress that would accompany them to the current relationship that she is in through the metaphor of stones, but also storms. My brother used to call it eating out of the trash. This made me laugh so much. Like, you go, Austin. You go, girl. And also, like, siblings always know. There's something about that. Like, they just do. But my mama told me, it's all right. You were dancing through the lightning strikes, sleepless in the onyx night. But now the sky is opalite. So for so long, her life was dancing through the lightning strikes, being in, I guess, like, dangerous situations when it comes to her, like, romantic life. You know, she never had stability. These relationships fell apart. It was dark, it was bleak, it was basically an onyx night without any light. However, now the sky is opalite. You finally left the table, and what a simple thought. You're starving till you're not. This I love, especially as a big like right where you left me stan, because she's finally leaving the restaurant, you know, she's leaving the table. I don't know if people will agree with me on that, like that little connection, but it just makes sense in my head. But my absolute favorite part of the song is the bridge. This is just a storm inside a teacup, but shelter here with me, my love. Thunder like a drum, this life will beat you up. This is just a temporary speed bump, but failure brings you freedom, and I can bring you love. Love, 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 love. Everything outside of love, like the media scrutiny and all of the bullshit, feels small when you have a person next to you that will tough it out with you. And also all of those horrible, horrible things are things that in the end can benefit you. They can make you stronger, you know, in the sense of the idea of like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. She also has built like a world for herself that always brings her love, no matter what the outside situation is. This song is just so cute to me. The production in it is banging. It's just the sweetest song ever. And especially, I mean, I already said my favorite part is the bridge. The way she delivers that bridge is just heavenly. I love her vocals in this.
I'll be your father figure. I drink that brown liquor.
So track 4 is called Father Figure, and this song is really, really interesting to me. I think that the perspective that it shows of the industry and how it preys on younger artists is honestly quite scary. But what I really appreciate about it is, first of all, the honesty, but also the narrative switch ups that Taylor Swift does and that she's sort of mastered over the years. Because in the end, she's the one with the power, she's the one with the mansion, and the empire she has created finally belongs to her. One thing about this song is that it samples George Michael's song of the same title, Father Figure. But one really interesting thing that I found out is that George Michael is actually credited as a songwriter on this song, meaning that all of the royalties from this song go to his estate and not to his record label, because George Michael never got his masters back. So I think that's a really, really cute touch from Taylor. And I mean, especially Taylor Swift, like I know she would do that because like we know her struggles with getting back her masters. So I think she would understand. And especially on a song like Father Figure, I just think it makes so much sense. And I think that's a really, really neat thing to do. So I just want to shout that out. I think that's really, really sweet of her. I'll be your father figure. I drink that brown liquor. I can make deals with the devil because my dick's bigger. This love is pure profit. Just step into my office. I dry your tears with my sleeve. So this is likely from the perspective of the industry professional. He thinks that he can make deals with the devil, but turns out he really should have been a little more careful. Let's just say that. He sees their relationships as simply transactional. He doesn't care about the actual well-being of the artist and the art that they create. All that matters is that he profits. They want to see you rise. They don't want you to reign. This makes me think of, I think, literally like every artist ever that I've gotten to see debut and then pursue a career for a longer time, especially young women in music, like Sabrina, Chapel, Olivia, Rina, like Tate, everybody, honestly. When they blow up, it's fun to see a new pop star walk onto the scene and like get her flowers, you know, get her first number ones, achieve some milestones or something like that. But the longer they stay, the more people start to turn on them. I think that is especially relevant when it comes to Sabrina and Chapel. The switch ups on these two have been insane to witness. This is such a sad truth about how the world treats artists and how once you're past your like novelty stage and you're not a new fresh toy, you're basically discarded and you're no longer wanted by most. The bridge then goes on to describe the switch in behavior of said executive. I saw a change in you, my dear boy. They don't make loyalty like they used to. Your thoughtless ambition sparked the ignition on foolish decisions which led to misguided visions. That to fulfill your dreams, you had to get rid of me. I protect the family. He got too confident with the power that he thought he had and decided to take advantage of the artist's work to get richer and get bigger, get more powerful. Clearly, he didn't consider consequences that could arise from said actions. He thought he would be above them, but very clearly he wasn't. You made a deal with this devil. Turns out my dick's bigger. You want to fight? You found it. I got the place surrounded. You'll be sleeping with the fishes before you know you're drowning. He underestimated her power and will to fight. He thought he would just get away with it, but he clearly didn't. I don't think this is an unpopular opinion when I say that this song is most likely about Scott Borchetta. Taylor was the very first artist he ever signed, and she was also his biggest artist. And then he went on to sell her entire catalog, that being her first 6 albums, to Scooter Braun, who Taylor very publicly disliked and who also made some very shady remarks about her and other stuff like that. Basically, he fully just betrayed her. But it's clear that he was not thinking about the hell that Taylor would unleash on him and also on Scooter and basically everyone involved. Taylor clearly doesn't just back down, and now she's writing this song after having been through the Eras tour. She's re-recorded 4 of those albums. She's got back her masters, although I think this song was recorded before that was announced, but you know, still at the time of me recording this, she's already recovered her masters. So she has won completely. She's only gotten richer, bigger, more powerful, more famous, more iconic. And meanwhile, all of these men are fading into obscurity. People are dropping Scooter Braun left and right. Scott Borchetta, I don't even know what he's doing nowadays. Like, is he relevant anymore? I don't know. I don't think so. I really, really like the sample in this song as well. I like that it's a little bit more subtle, but the primary reason why I'm so hooked into Father Figure is that narrative switch up. It's the lyricism. That's the main point of this song for me.
I'm never gonna leave you now.
First of all, to all the haters of Eldest Daughter, stop it. Like, how can you hate on such a beautiful and soft song? I saw somewhere online people saying that the folks who don't like Eldest Daughter are very clearly giving it the same treatment that eldest daughters themselves oftentimes get. You expect perfection from them, but when you get something that doesn't fit your personal definition of perfection, you are quick to discard it or disregard it. And I think that's messed up. This bridge is heavenly, like most bridges on this album, let's be honest. But this specific one is just insane to me. And this song inspired a lot of edits as well, which let's just say a couple of them really did hurt my feelings. This song I unfortunately do relate to a bit. Like the pressure, the overachiever energy, I guess, the cutthroat environment that you're brought up in. I see myself in that. I have been afflicted by a terminal uniqueness. I've been dying just from trying to seem cool. Well, thanks. I hate it here. You know, the last time I laughed this hard was on the trampoline in somebody's backyard. I must have been about 8 or 9. That was the night I fell off and broke my arm. Pretty soon, I learned cautious discretion when your first crush crushes something kind. As you know, in my reaction video, I connected this song to 7, and I still feel like that might be the case. And if that is the case, it does really hurt my feelings. Go and watch my folklore video if you don't know my thoughts about 7, but let's just say that I felt cold out. I also think that the cautious discretion line is very relatable. We lie back, a beautiful, beautiful time lapse. Ferris wheels, kisses, and lilacs, and things I said were dumb. Because I thought I'd never find that beautiful, beautiful life that shimmers that innocent light back, like when we were young. This bridge and how it reminds the listener that the nostalgic and beautiful moments aren't just a thing of the past. And people had the audacity to say that this song is poorly written. Like, you can still find these moments even when your childhood is over, and this is just so beautiful. There is a famous tweet that I found whilst I was researching, which says something along the lines of, like, who takes care of eldest daughters? And somebody quote retweeted that with saying, Taylor Swift. Like, yeah, she does take care of us. We see ourselves in her music. She helps us deal with our emotions and with all of the turmoil we experience daily. This song is gorgeous, and I will not withstand the hate for it. I think that's completely ridiculous to me, and shows that many people are just tasteless. Like, sorry.
My advice is always ruin the friendship.
Ruin the Friendship might be one of the most heartbreaking songs I've ever heard, but also one of the least like predictable songs I've ever heard, especially from Taylor Swift. I'm still mad at myself for not catching the real meaning of it during my reaction. It just went completely over my head. And then I looked online afterwards and I was like, how did I not catch that? Also, I think in the previous section of this video with Eldest Daughter, I spoke about edits that hurt me personally. And this song, the edits to this one are criminal. You guys know that posting is optional, right? Like, you don't have to share this. You don't have to do this to me. And I think the most criminal one that I've seen was I've seen a few of Dead Poets Society. These hurt. But also, I think the saddest one by far was from the animated movie Up. Like, I cannot play it because the video is gonna get copyright claimed. But Jesus Christ, I'm gonna link that specific edit in the comment section, or at least I try to. So please go and show some love to the creator of it, but also please go and harass them in the comments, because how dare they? How can you do this to me? This song is so soft and so gorgeous. It almost has like a little like Fleetwood vibe to it. I don't know if I'm naming that correctly. Like, it just fits. I don't know. The song and the message of it is to not hesitate to be real with the people you love, because you never know how it all might end, and it's better to ruin the friendship than to be kept in questions. That is a concept I never thought I would see in a song. The whole song also shows us this very like nostalgic view of high school and the time of said hesitation. And it's all good, it's all beautiful, it's all sparkly, until she hits us with the bridge. When I left school, I lost track of you. Abigail called me with the bad news. Goodbye. And we'll never know why. It was not an invitation, but I flew home anyway, with so much left to say. It was not convenience, no, but I whispered at the grave. Should have kissed you anyway. This makes me cry practically every time I hear it. Like, aside from my first listen, because it all went over my head, as I stated, when I saw this in the movie theater, I was red. I was barely breathing. I was not okay. This is amazing storytelling, but also it's just so sad. The haunting thoughts of the maybe I should have said this and now I will never get the chance to that's so scary to think about, honestly. It's that lack of closure that is gonna haunt you years after. Also, it all gets even sadder, honestly, when you remember that the likely muse of the song is Jeff Lang, who famously was also reportedly the inspiration behind Forever Winter on Red, Taylor's version. I'm just gonna leave that here, because I think if you're watching this video, if you know what Forever Winter is about, you know what the story is. And okay, we are moving on. And my advice is to always answer the question, better that than to ask it all of your life. I think this encapsulates so well everything we just talked about. I mean, what a gorgeous song. Also, it does kind of remind me stylistically and just theme-wise of Hometown by Halsey, which is one of my favorite Halsey songs, which also touches on the people you've lost since you were in high school, and kind of how those friendships fizzle out and how there's a lot of unresolved emotions there. I think these two songs could be sisters, honestly. And they could make me very sad together. Okay, now that we are done with Ruin the Friendship, I think it's time to move on to one of the more controversial songs on the album, which is, of course, actually romantic.
No man has ever loved me like you do.
I love Rage Bait Taylor. I find her very amusing. The collective meltdown on Twitter and other platforms over this song has been honestly pretty hilarious to witness. Like, I find diss tracks like these very fun, especially when the beef itself isn't very serious. Like, neither of them have done anything crazy to each other. They just don't like each other. I think that's very clear. And I think both Sympathy as a Knife and Actually Romantic are great songs. So for that reason, I do think that sometimes musical beefs are fun because you get good music. I would also point to Tit for Tat by Tate McRae as a good example of that, because I know that that is a diss track on, I think, Kid Laroi. So another example, you know, sometimes beefs can result in really, really great music. However, I do find it very interesting that when Charlie apparently dissed several on Brat, including Rino Sawayama, FKA Twigs, and Taylor Swift. She's Brat, you know, she's Mother, she's Icon. But when Taylor does that, when Taylor responds, that's the craziest thing, is she didn't even start anything. She just responded. And then she's the mean girl. She's punching down on poor little Charlie that never did anything to her. Like, Charlie XCX literally branded being a mean girl to others through the Brat era. And you mean to tell me that, like, she's suddenly this, like, sweet little innocent angel that, like, never did anything wrong? Like, and I'm also not saying this as, like, a Charlie XCX hater. I dabble. She's not, like, one of my favorite singers of all time. But I respect her. You know, Brat was fun. I think we would all benefit from having a little bit more distance. Like, why can't we all just, like, sit back and enjoy the feud? Enjoy the music that comes from it. Just have fun. Eat some popcorn. Laugh a little. Like, I think that's what beefs like these are the best for. So I don't understand the whole collective just losing of one's mind over Actually Romantic. All Taylor did was make fun of the situation, which is unarguably not very serious. So what's the problem? But it's actually sweet. All the time you spent on me. It's honestly wild. All the effort you've put in. It's actually romantic. I really gotta hand it to you. No man has ever loved me like you do. There's this video of, I think it was Harry Styles talking about Taylor and how even if she writes like a negative song about him, he still takes that as a compliment because she spent time on it. And I think that is a very, very similar idea. And I know you think it comes off vicious, but it's precious, adorable, like a toy chihuahua barking at me from a tiny purse. That's how much it hurts. How many times has your boyfriend said, why are we always talking about her? Taylor is so big that she's almost untouchable. She's also learned that sometimes not even acknowledging the situation is better than to enter into the being petty mode. But she has so much experience that she finds this specific behavior that Charlie has displayed unserious and a little childish. So she like almost gets down to her level. Like, why do you care so much? Why do you care so much? Like, focus on yourself. I'll focus on myself. And we'll all be better as a result. I mind my business, God's my witness, that I don't provoke it. It's kind of making me wet. Sabrina, I know you were in that room when she wrote that line. I just can tell. My little spidey senses tell me very, very clearly, this is a Sabrina Carpenter lyric. I find this song very fun. Just in general, I find beefs like this fun, as I stated in the beginning of this section, but as long as it's not regarding something serious, I think it's better to just sit back and enjoy the entertainment. And that's personally what I'm going to do if this beef goes any farther, because I think Charlie posted something about it, like a little teaser of a song or something. I feel like there might be something more happening, so I'm like interested to see where this goes. But either way, I'm gonna be sat with my bucket of popcorn. I'm just gonna be having a good old time because this doesn't concern me, and it shouldn't concern you either.
Got a wish list, I just want you.
Gotta be honest, wishlist kind of pisses me off. And it's not because the song is bad. I actually find the song very adorable. It's very cute. I like the beat behind it. The lyrics of it are fun as well. But what really pisses me off about it is just how much everyone is going out of their way to misinterpret it. So let's just get this out of the way first, okay? I just want you, have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. This line is not about eugenics. Actually, let me throw this over to this creator I found on TikTok. She talked about this, and I think she really demonstrates well how crazy of an idea this is.
I want to have your white babies, and I actually want our entire neighborhood to be racially homogenous.
Of all the takes that have ever been taken, this is the worst that ever got took. What are you talking about? If you don't like the album, that's fine. Who cares? To each their own. But the way some of y'all are reaching with these wild takes, y'all about to break a bone. Like, is you cool? I'm pretty good at seeing things from other people's perspectives, understanding where people are coming from, putting myself in other people's shoes, if you will. But these shoes are a little too tight, a little too flat, and they ain't got no traction. Somebody needs to explain this mentality to me because I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, how do you look at those lyrics and then not only take your mind to that place, then say what you said and mean it? What part of remedial English was difficult? Did they not teach you metaphors? It's the same thing as a woman saying she wants a whole football team. Does that mean she wants to birth a 53-man roster? No. She wants a lot of kids. She wants a lot of his kids. How did that just go?
Taylor Swift is handing the conservative agenda on a silver platter to the masses. And before I go...
When did wanting to get married and wanting to have children become the conservative agenda? When did that happen?
I find it quite insane that people look at lines saying basically, hey, I want to have a lot of kids with Travis. And the first thing they think of is that she's pulling a Sydney Sweeney or Gavin Castellano. Like, no, she is not. And the other interpretation that I saw be very, very popular online is that this basically confirms that she's a MAGA trad wife. A MAGA trad wife producing an album with this as an aesthetic. I said, oh, I'm sure. I do, however, think that this misinterpretation is very, very clearly on purpose. People need something to cancel her over, to get the clicks, to get the likes, to get the money, get the algorithm pumping. And nothing makes you money like hating on Taylor Swift, okay? But truly, you could do this with any song of any artist. Like, you can, I'm assuming that you could just look at any major pop song, the most like random song of all time, and find a lyric in there that you can take and you can twist into your specific agenda. Like, I'm assuming I could do this with dozens of other songs. Just give me an example and I'll do it. It just feels so performative, but also I can tell what the intention here is. You're trying to use political correctness to cancel her over something that isn't bad. Like, but before I descend into a meltdown like some people did over Actually Romantic, I think it would just be better for all of us to just talk about the song itself. This song shows off how Taylor's wish list kind of shifts as she moves throughout her career, specifically in comparison to other people in the industry. You know, people prioritize success, but she's already done that. She's already achieved it. And I also think that this is a possible Midnight Rain reference, which I love. But now that she has all of that success, she wishes those people good luck with their endeavors of getting it, but she wants to focus on another dream of hers, which is having a family. And now she's closer than ever to achieving that dream. I made wishes on all of the stars. Please God, bring me a best friend who I think is hot. I thought I had it right once, twice, but I did not. You caught me off guard. I hope I get what I want, because I know what I want. She knows what she wants. She wasn't sure if she was going to get it before, or if those were the right people to get it with, but all the planets are finally aligning. I love this, actually. I think it's a very beautiful dream to have. And also, to clarify, wanting a family doesn't make you a MAGA trad wife. This song and the beat of it are just so infectious in my opinion. Like it just exudes happiness. And personally, that's something that I love seeing from Taylor.
I gotta knock on wood.
Wood is the craziest song in Taylor Swift's discography. Period. She said, how many possible innuendos can I fit into one song whilst also not making it completely about, you know, that stuff. The superstition part of it, I love actually conceptually. It's always so fun to see that in music and art. And I think there's so much you can do with superstitions. But the way she also makes the superstitions themselves horny, absolute cinema. This is a hit. And I also love that aside from the horniness and the superstitions, it also talks about how happy she is in the relationship, that she no longer feels the need to rely on said superstitions. She's already found what she wanted, which we see in lines like, for example, all of that bitchin' wishing on a falling star never did me any good. I ain't got to knock on wood. It's you and me forever, dancing in the dark, all over me, it's understood. I ain't got to knock on wood. The instrumental of it is insane. This is a banger. Ovulation music at its best. And I also find it very, very difficult to listen to the song and not like knock on something. Like whenever I listen to it, I just have to do the knock on wood. It's just, I guess it's just in my muscle memory now. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He ahmatized me and opened my eyes. Redwood's tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs. This still makes me laugh. The fact that there is a chance that she saw that tweet of an Arianator talking about how the fact that that's a possibility, that is everything to me. New heights of manhood. I ain't got a knock on wood. Like, come on. Comedic genius. This song is so much fun. I genuinely always have such a good time listening to it. It's not gotten boring for me once, and I've played it so many times. And I think it's fun. And I like whimsy. I like fun.
Good thing I like my friends canceled.
This is my favorite production on the entire album. It's so menacing, especially in that bridge where it almost feels like you're watching a march of like stormtroopers or something like that. And then in the final chorus, everything gets like heightened twice or thrice even. It's theater. It's drama. It's such a vibe. This is like a perfect theme song for a villain as well. Or not necessarily a villain, but maybe like Casbreaker of Six of Crows fame. You know what I'm talking about? I need to see more Six of Crows edits to Cancelled. I've seen a couple and they were all very, very good, but I need to see more. I want to collect them like Thanos collected Infinity Stones, okay? I need to see more Six of Crows edits to Cancelled. This song explores the experience of being cancelled and finding refuge where other cancelled folks gather, I guess. They are the friends who know your struggles the best, and they are the least likely to betray you because all your flaws have already been discovered, so you already know what to expect. You can fully trust these people because they don't have nothing else to lose. It's easy to love you when you're popular. The optics click, everyone prospers. But one single drop, you're off the roster. Tone deaf and hot. Let's fucking off her. One little thing you do and already people are at your neck. It almost kind of reminds me of like why so many people hate on Madison Beer because she's simply too pretty. Like, you're too good at something, so you gotta hit it. You know, we can't have you around anymore. You gotta get knocked down a peg. When something is popular and trendy, it's easy to be on board, but the longer it stays around, the more people grow skeptical of it as well. And I think that can be very much related to basically any career when it comes to entertainment, like genuinely any career, especially when it comes to women. Because let's be honest, men get away with mediocrity way easier than women do. Did you make a joke only a man could? Were you just too smart for your own good? Or bring a tiny violin to a knife fight? Baby, that'll end tonight. This is insane. The making of a joke that only a man could is I think that might be one of my favorite lines of the entire song, but also I like the pointing out of the double standards in the industry. Can't you see my infamy loves company? Now they've broken you like they've broken me, but the shattered glass is a lot more sharp. Being broken is the best way to become sharper. She isn't afraid anymore. She's over that. She's grown. She's better. However, when everyone paints you as a villain, it's nice to have someone alongside you who is going to support you, who is going to understand you, and who isn't going to believe all of that bullshit. I think that is also very much a callback to the Reputation era as well. I love the message of the song. I think in today's era of the internet and how rage bait works, it's easy to fall for a narrative about someone, whether it's manufactured or not. And also whether it's a celebrity or not. But this song shows also that you should judge people by solid facts and what you know of them, not necessarily the opinions of others. It's always better to make your own mind about somebody, especially when you're getting canceled over stuff that isn't even like that bad. Like, just think to the time of Taylor Swift's career before the Reputation era and what she really got canceled for. Like, why was that the thing that everybody decided was going to be the end of her career? Of all things, that. But still, back to Cancelled, the song, this is still probably my favorite on the album. It's just on the production wise, it's the best song on the album when it comes to production, and the lyricism in it is incredibly sharp. It's incredibly poignant. I think it's also very, very direct. Like, you know exactly what she's talking about, and she does it well.
When you say, honey.
Time for Honey, which is possibly the cutest song to ever exist. It has such a fun beat to it. I also love the like little almost jazzy elements to it in certain parts. They are so cool to see. This song redefines the words that Taylor's fiance now uses on her and how they used to be negatives, but now they're no longer that. Now they are acts of love. Also, the way that she says honey in this song is just, it's so like flirty. It's so like fun and whimsical. It's everything to me. When anyone called me sweetheart, it was passive aggressive at the bar, and the bitch was telling me to back off because her man had looked at me wrong. I take this as a Girl at Home reference because I love that song. Why are you looking at me when you have a girl at home? But also, why is the girl at home blaming me for that when the man is looking at... You get the gist. You give it different meaning because you mean it when you talk. This is so insanely romantic. Oh my God. And when anyone called me lovely, they were finding ways not to praise me. But you say it like you're in awe of me and you stay until the morning. I don't even have much to say about this. It's just the cutest. She finally doesn't feel like she's being avoided or like someone's ashamed to be with her. This person like actually cares. This song is just really cute. On the project, I wouldn't say that it stands out as much as some of the others, but I think it's a really, really beautiful love song, and I love the writing on it. And just in general, I like when Taylor Swift is happy. Call it parasocial or not. I like when my favorite artists are happy and are making happy music. And now we have reached the most perfect closing track to an album that I think I've ever seen. And that is, of course, The Life of a Showgirl, featuring Sabrina Carpenter.
You don't know the life of a showgirl, babe.
This song is so good, and Sabrina fits on it so well. I think many people were disappointed that like less songs on this album don't have a similar topic to this one of being a showgirl and being on the Eras tour, considering that this is the title track and also the entire aesthetic of the record was very showgirl, was very glam, glitz, you know, basically a performer. But also, I would like to remind you that Taylor said that this album is about the stuff that happened behind the scenes that we didn't get to see when she was on the Eras tour. So that includes her beefs, her falling in love, her reminiscing on old enemies or old experiences. I feel like we partially even got to see that through Torture Poets Department with especially some of the songs on the anthology, like for example Cassandra. I don't know, it just made sense to me. This song shows how you can fall in love with the lifestyle of a showgirl, but also how challenging it is. Everyone you encounter who's been in the business will tell you to be careful about going into show business because you might just not be ready for it. This song is ridiculously good. The chorus is hella addictive. The bridge and the switch up in it is so much fun. The final chorus is hype, and the outro, the most heavenly outro to ever exist. This being a sample from the Era store in Vancouver. I didn't realize that at first when I was listening to it, but then I saw it on Twitter that apparently it is. Like, sometimes I will listen to it and I will tear up thinking about my show and the ending of it and how she was like taking her final bow with the dancers, but also watching the live stream of the Eras tour in Vancouver and how she left the stage with all of her dancers. Like, they're all this big happy family, and it's so beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful touches on an album I've ever seen. Her name is Kitty, made her money being pretty and witty. They gave her the keys to the city. Then they said she didn't do it legitimately. They celebrated her until she got a little too successful for everyone's comfort. So now we have to find a way to discredit her, to knock her down a peg. Just in general, like the perspective of someone wanting to be a showgirl, going to Kitty's Era store, I guess, for this song is so good, especially considering that Sabrina is featured on it. And as we know, Sabrina did look up to Taylor for a lot of her career. I think the meaning is also really enhanced because we got songs like Clarabo or Nothing New in Taylor's discography. And whenever Taylor sort of reflects on her place in the industry and how the path that she's created is now being trodden by other people, other artists after her, I think it's always so amazing to see that. And I think those are some of my favorite songs of her discography. Hey, thank you for the lovely bouquet. You're sweeter than a peach, but you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. It's implying that she is almost like too kind for this industry, that she doesn't have the thick skin that is needed in order to survive in it. But that's not what showgirls get. They leave us for dead. They don't care about us until we make the money. Basically, showgirls don't get all of the glitz and glamour without all of the bad things that go alongside all of that. There is always a hunt for the next big thing, the next showgirl, whilst the older showgirls that have been here for longer are fading into obscurity or fading into, like, I don't know, irrelevance, I guess. Also, the way that this line is delivered and how Sabrina hits that high note is just everything to me. I took her pearls of wisdom, hung them from my neck. I paid my dues with every bruise. I knew what to expect. Do you want to take a skate on the ice inside my veins? They ripped me off like false lashes and then threw me away. So she took the advice from Kitty. She was prepared to be a hustler in order to make it as a showgirl. She toughed all of that out, and that has made her stronger. And thanks to that, we get to the most iconic part of this song. And honestly, the most iconic part of the whole album for me. And all the headshots on the walls of the dance hall are of the bitches who wish I'd hurry up and die. But I'm immortal now, baby dolls. I couldn't if I tried. This is the most badass line ever. Like, you can come for me, you can try, but guess what? I am immortal. I am more than a human now. I am a myth, I am a legend, I am a goddess. This is also the motif of Executive Monumentum. She built a statue, that statue is her fame, and that's a real fucking legacy to leave. The artist becomes immortal because of their art. And then that outro, which I already talked about, I love it. I genuinely love it. I don't see enough appreciation for The Life of a Showgirl, the song. I think this is literally one of the best songs on the entire project. I think it's one of the best songs Taylor has released in a long time. It's just so beautiful. Everything works about it. It's incredible. I also love Sabrina's part in it. I'm so happy that she got to sing so much of it and that she got to have such a prominent part. And her little like Sabrina-isms are like sprinkled throughout the song as well, even though I don't think she wrote it. But I just think it's such a perfect fit for her too. It's everything to me. This is how you end an album with a bang. So in summation, this is a great project. I don't expect everyone to love this project, but I do think more people are gonna come around to it with time. I think this is gonna be a grower album for a lot of people. However, it will not be a grower album for me because I got it on the very first listen, and I'm very proud of that. That's my little badge of honor. I got this album from the very first listen. I am ready to defend it. I think it's a great piece of work, and I think it's pop perfection that we needed from Taylor, and she delivered. It's so polished, it's so perfected, it's so slick. It genuinely feels like a showgirl that's ready for her big performance on the stage. I think overall, whilst I love the lyricism and I love the production, I love the concepts on this album, I think my favorite part of it, just like from the technical standpoint, is the vocals and the ad-libs. The vocals on this album are everything to me, and she is ad-libbing all over the place. And I'm so happy. I love ad-libs in music. That's like one of my favorite things to like look out for. Alongside backing vocals, I also really, really love backing vocals. So this album is just perfect for me when it comes to that. That just always makes the songs feel so much more fuller, so much more lively. I just love everything about that. This era, I feel like, still has a lot to offer. It still has a lot in store for us.
She's powerful. She knows what she wants. When you walk into the room, you know she's a blessing and a curse. She's wild. She's free.
I think we are gonna get a few more music videos here and there. I know Taylor hinted at there possibly being more or her making more. I think that would be insane. I personally would like to nominate Elizabeth Taylor and The Life of a Showgirl featuring Sabrina Carpenter for the music videos. I think those two specifically would be amazing. But honestly, any of them could get a music video and I would be absolutely satisfied. I would be sad for the premiere. I would watch them dozens of times, and I'm sure I'd have a great time doing so. I am so excited to see the legacy of this album grow. This is going to be an iconic piece of art when it comes to popular music. I'm sure of it. But for that, I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. I mean, this album has already broken dozens of records. I think it broke Miley Cyrus's record for the most streams in a week or something like that. And also, I know it broke Adele's record about sales, which we never thought would even be possible. So that's crazy. But yeah, I think this album is gonna continue to cement itself as an iconic piece of music. And I cannot wait to see what the future brings for it. But until then, I think it's time for me to head back to editing hell, honestly, to get this video out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I would really, really appreciate you subscribing to the channel, liking the video. As I said in the beginning, please leave your full thoughts on the album, however critical they are, in the comments. I would really, really appreciate being able to read some of them. And yeah, I will see you very soon, probably for a video that will be a little bit more like back to basics, because I know a lot of you have been missing the Eurovision content from me. I think it's time to get back into that a little bit. I think we are gonna revisit a new Eurovision edition for next week's video. I have a small idea about which one it will be because I haven't really started to script that video or take my notes on it, anything, but I will start that very soon once I get this video out. So yeah, if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, please remember to subscribe, and I will see you next week. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of fun, but until then, thanks for watching, take care, and bye.